Oh, wow. Yeah. So I remember the last time that I did extra work was in 2012. And you had brought to my attention something that I didn't know was that big of a deal. And now it's kind of a story that I tell in almost all my interviews, which was when I had a confrontation with John Laurinaitis
Yeah.
2 years prior in 2010. And I always cite you as the source of that because to me, I probably would have forgotten exactly how it played out if it wasn't for you reminding me and saying that it kind of became a bit of a story amongst the guys when
Yeah.
Johnny and I were going at it. And then he says to me, well, what makes you think you're so good? What do you give yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? And my answer was an 8, which, maybe that number's improved. Maybe it's declined over time. I don't know. But at the time, I felt enough confidence in saying it was an 8, to,
Yeah.
to which he replied to me, you're an 8. I'd say Shawn Michaels is an 8. You're really gonna tell me you're an 8? And I know there was a few of you guys sticking your head out from catering because it was right outside of catering at the arena in Toronto,
Yeah.
and you had said that it was a thing that he would say to a lot of talents. More or less to kind of dismiss them because if you say, well, okay, if Sean's an 8, then I'm a 6, and he's going to say, well, why do I want a 6? I'm looking for my next champion here, and then I guess if you stick with it or you say you're still an 8, you might get accused of having an ego or thinking too highly of yourself. And me, I just kind of organically just said, no, I'd say Sean's a 10.
Yeah.
And it kind of beat his little trick question, which to me, that was just being me because I just have a good time when I'm back there. I know you say I have a good energy and whatnot, but I mean, to me, I'm living my dream, even if it's just for a day. I'm happier than a pig in mud to
Yeah.
be there,
I understand.
and I was told even beforehand by a man who was one of the few people who've helped me a lot, Mike Bucci,
Okay. Yeah.
Nova, Simon Dean. He's someone who just saw me and he kind of got the ball rolling with getting me the tryout with FCW. At the time, he sent some of my stuff to Ty Bailey, who was the talent guy.
Yeah.
He helped open some doors for me, and he told me, don't make the mistake everyone does of just going there and kind of hiding in catering and just not
Gotcha.
existing. He told me, hey, look at it like this: you don't work there, so they can't fire you. Just go there, make friends, have a good time.
And it's like obviously easier said than done, but that is great advice. I've said this in other interviews. I never been booked as an extra before, so I understand that it seems so nerve wracking and it seems so I mean I guess maybe intimidating and scary. So I try my best to always at least say hi and always be kind of like your experience, kind of at least be open if I did see them wrestle in the day, if they come and ask me, I'll definitely give them advice. Or if someone really sticks out, I'll go find them and tell them they did a great job. But I just always try to be nice because as an extra, it's nerve wracking. It's not easy. It's like you just said. It's like you're living your dream for that day, but obviously the goal is to hopefully live it always. So like
Yeah.
it can be so nerve wracking and like what is the right play? Is it to hang out and be quiet and keep getting booked for these and then something happens, or is the right play to get out there and take that chance? Like I honestly I don't know. I honestly
Mm,
don't know. I've seen both work and I've seen both fail. So
mm,
I don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean,
As for Johnny's question, he's very smart. He loves hitting people with those kind of questions and getting them thinking. I think when he signed Trent Beretta, same thing. He had a talk with him, and Trent was young. Trent was 20. Trent's 21st birthday was that WrestleMania in Orlando with Floyd Mayweather.
mm,
So Trent got signed as a young kid. He's 20 years old, and he's having a one-on-one talk with Johnny, which, if you know Trent, is a very funny scenario to play out in my mind. But and Johnny said to him like, "Well, why should I hire you?" And Trent, he didn't go in there with some pre-thought out answer. He just was like, because I'm a pretty good wrestler. And then he just said there was like this silence. And then Johnny was like, all right, we'll hire you. I think he was taking a college course. He said, finish that course and then
mm,
report down to FCW. And Rick Victor, similar
yeah.
thing where Johnny hit him with a bunch of Johnny questions that just make you think and just like I've seen him do it and it's a good skill, but like people will show up and think maybe have all the answers, or they're super prepared, and Johnny will be like, okay, well, what about, where's this? What about that? What about that? And then all of a sudden you see them like deflate and be like, oh my God, I guess I didn't think everything through. And Rick Victor was kind of having one of those with Johnny too. It was in Edmonton. And it ended with Johnny saying, well, based off all that, what we just talked about, if you were me, would you hire you? And Victor, I've known him forever. He said, yeah, you know what? To be honest, if the roles were reversed right now, and you're only basing this off me and you sitting here talking, no. The answer is no, I wouldn't hire myself. Same thing. They sat there in silence. Ty Bailey was in the room. They sat there in silence, and Johnny looked over at Ty and said, you know what? Sign him. Yeah. Like, so those trick questions can pay off.
Yeah. I think that in my case, I mean, not to say I came prepared. I just